Hello, my wonderful people, viewers and subscribers. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. Before I proceed with the matter, with the ground now, I want to use this medium or this opportunity to correct this impression because our people are so gullible. When I mean gullible, I mean real gullible. Upon all the whole good things I talk in one video I posted yesterday, the only thing that the people, our gullible people with gullible mindset to hear is the one I talk about Ebukobi or I talk about churches. Everybody just raise their eyebrow. My brother, me and you, we are born in Christian home. I am more even Christianity than you, who are bashing me, telling me not to interfere in the things of God. I never said there is no God. But you see all these churches, no matter how you see it, even if you like, go there and sleep there and die there, my dear. Churches is a scam. Churches is a Ponzi. Believe it or leave it. If you like, you can as well bash me more. Nobody will come out and say there's no God. So stop misquoting me out of context. I said about church, not about God. If Ebukobi said God called him and you are here now, carry it in your head, were you there when he was called? I don't know why our people are so daft that even though you both have brought this church for us, almost in the UK, 110 churches have been converted to night clubs. In Germany, nobody go to churches again. The video is everywhere on the internet. You people will not see that one. Now let's when somebody talk something. Listen to me, what Ebukobi is bringing back to his village is liability. It's not an investment. If you want to bring investment, let him build factories. Look at the comparison between India and Nigeria. India have almost more than 1,000 companies in Nigeria or wherever you call it in Nigeria. But the so-called Nigerian people, me and you, where they say, why must I talk about Ebukobi, have over 2,000 churches in India. And to you, he said that is an investment he brought back home, that I should bring my own back home. That is the reason that this so-called Zojulia never works for once. It's a people like you who will only choose one side to judge. If you are going to church, up to you. But for me, I know that even what I have done in the church, that you that is doing it, I never even go 1/4 of it. I was born and raised in the church. So when I come out now, I begin to cry or what is happening in that so-called church or in that so-called Ponzi scheme called church, then I must have seen things. I must have experienced things. All these people that all these Sunday medicine people, you go to church and go praise, worship, you dance. When they talk about your principle, you open your wide eyes and you want to attack anybody. Without even making your own research. No, whatever they read for the Bible and give to you, that is what you will take. If you want to continue there, continue on that secret called church, then continue. But as for God, there is God. Anyway, my brothers and sisters, so let me just use the opportunity. There is one video I bumped on Simon Ekpa's X handle, and I said it is very necessary my people hear about this video, and I want you all to digest this fact, and also let me know what you think at the comment section. This one is an interactive between a VOP presenter and our own brother, who is also a lawyer and also an activist, who is here to tell the world the role which the Zoological Republic of Nigeria are playing, and they have played in the extradition of Martin Nnamdi Kanu, and they want to play again in the case of Simon Ekpa. They went all the way around now, bribing the European Union with a shipload of crude oil, so that they will sideline Finland, so that Finland will be forced to extradite Simon Ekpa. But they forgot to know that Simon Ekpa is a dual citizenship. So whatever you want to do to him, you must get the right papers first before any other thing. Which I'm very very sure that even Finland is not even ready to go that path. Anyway, make sure I listen to him, and I will come back again to give my own verdict on this video. Like, share, comment, and make sure you subscribe to my channel for more interesting videos coming your way. According to Simon Ekpa, he says, and I quote, "Who can explain to them in Fufude or Afonja language They seem not to understand the English language again. Now, waiting Simon Ekpa talk, I am going to listen to this very important video.
Good afternoon, Esther. Thanks for having me.
Mr. Chukwuma Okoro is a political, national, and social affairs commentator. He's also an author on the title The Future of Politics. And that's going to be quite an interesting one, since that's going to be some of the conversation that we'll be having right here on the World News at 12. Mr. Chukwuma, thank you once again for being here. Let's start off with the federal government through General Buba, stating that the federal government has already commenced plans for the extradition of Simon Ekpa. Now, Major General Edward Buba, who is the Director of Defense Media Operations, revealed that the government would respond appropriately through diplomatic channels. Now, this is not the first time we've heard this from the federal government. I remember the first time where the federal government said they had written to the government of Finland. At the time, they invited Simon Ekpa for questioning at the headquarters there in Finland, where they asked questions, because at the time they said that Simon Ekpa is the one responsible for the insecurity in the southeast. Now, when he was invited, he had responded to quite a number of questions right there in Finland, and he was later released. So what is stopping, or what other diplomatic channels are they going by? If the government of Finland does not find him guilty of anything, if they have invited him for questioning, how is the method going to be? How possible would it be for him to be extradited to Nigeria to respond to the federal government's call?
Okay, Esther, it's good that we are getting to hear this from the government.
Okay, yeah.
You know, and it's a clear departure from the illegality that we witnessed in the past.
All right.
We have a government that is saying, okay, we are going to follow diplomatic channel, diplomatic protocol to ensure that we bring back this young man to come and answer to charges of terrorism, to charges of hate speech, incitement, and all of that. Like I said, it's good that we are getting to hear this from the government.
Okay.
But we also had a government that went out of their way to extraordinary rendition of a young man, you know, Nnamdi Kanu, who is now at the center of the drama of whatever insecurity that the government thinks is going on in the southeast. I say that in the light of the fact that you see the government is quick to point fingers at people that cause insecurity in certain regions. But the government, at the same time, absolves itself of the blame that they should carry in fueling insecurity. I've said several times, what the government needs to do is unpack holistically the whole issue of insecurity in different regions of the country. What is causing, or what started the insecurity in the southeast is because a certain group of people, members of this union, felt strongly that they had been excluded, shut out from the resources, from the economic high command of this country, in security apparatus, in whatever, in state creation. Every other region has 6, it's only the southeast that has 5. Despite their contributions to the national wealth, despite their emphasis on the unity of this country, people from the southeast, if you ask me, have demonstrated more faith in the unity of this country than any other group of people.
Mr. Chukwuma Okoro, to buttress what you're trying to say, in the recent security appointments, especially on the president's security team for 2024, there's a list that was out. Now, Southwest dominates. You have more of the North Central and Northwest, including the Southwest. Now, the security team actually shows that in the 15 appointments, Southwest has 6 appointees, Northwest has 4, North Central 2, Northeast 2, and Southeast 1.
Just 1. And so how do you expect the people to keep quiet? I think that this president was even magnanimous to give the Southeast 1. In the previous administration, Southeast got nothing. Absolutely nothing.
For your recent administration is magnanimous for giving us 1.
Wow. You know, in comparison with what happened in the past. And it was the thing, it was the actions of the past leadership of this country that spiked the whole issue of insecurity. And I keep saying, before 2015, Nnamdi Kanu wasn't asking for the Southeasterners to exit this union. His emphasis was on, please, how do we make this union work? Our diversity is a huge asset, is a strength for us. So how can we capitalize on our diversity, like you have in the United States, like you have in other parts of the country, and make this place work? But by 2015, a certain man came and said, "Oh, you people gave me 5% of votes, and you don't expect to get like people that voted for me 75%, and whatever 97 and 5 meant, I'm yet to understand up until today." But he went ahead to impact.
But like I asked you earlier, if they've not been able to use diplomatic channel to extradite him, I remember I told you he was invited, all right, for questioning in Finland. If that has not taken place, what other method, what other means through which he could be extradited? Because currently he's still in Finland.
First of all, you have to understand the fact that Simon Ekpa is Finnish. He's a citizen of Finland. You know, so he has dual nationality. He's Nigerian, he's Finnish.
Okay.
And if the federal government cannot use diplomatic means like extradition to bring him back, there is no other legal means available except for them to rendition him too. And it's up to the Finnish government to accept that.
Okay.
Unlike what we are seeing happen between Nigeria and UK in the case of Nnamdi Kanu. And I keep asking, the federal government is quick to point out that they want to arrest people who are sponsoring insecurity or financing Simon Ekpa to cause insecurity in the southeast. The same federal government is unable to release the list of people that are sponsoring terrorism in the northeast, in the north central, in the northwest.
That's
the UAE said we have a list of people sponsoring, financing insecurity in Nigeria. And we had a government that said, give us the list. The UAE gave them the list. They stood on that list, put it inside the cupboard. And up until this moment, we don't know. A certain 3 people, were fingered as sponsors of terrorism through financing and all of that. Esther, what has come out of that?
We've not heard anything.
We've not heard anything. And you see people who are caught, people who are armed that have killed fellow Nigerians. The security agencies arrest them and take them to the police station. The next day they are out. I bet you are quick to say you want to arrest people that sponsor, people that are carrying flags, people that are waving flags in parts of the country. So does that show a sense of sincerity on the part of government to fight insecurity? Clearly no.
Well, let me ask you something. I remember there was an Islamic clergy that threatened the president's wife. Would have expected that the security agencies would have tracked that man, all right, and put him in custody for making such a treasonable comment. We've not heard that. We've also heard the brazen nature of these bandits carry on TikTok, right, a social media platform. They do giveaway with the monies given to them by those who want their relatives to be released from their capture. But we've not heard anything afterwards from all of that. So this again is where the reshuffling within the security agency of this administration came on board. So what exactly is happening in that regard? If they divest the means that they want to use in going through with Simon Ekpa, why don't they use that same means in having to bring out the culprits responsible for sponsoring terrorism in this country?
Esther, you are spot on, and I think we are traveling the same road. If you talk about the person that threatened the first lady,
yes,
it might not be treason.
It might not be treason.
It might not be treason.
Why would you make that statement?
I mean, if somebody threatens to kill you now,
threatens the first lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, you don't consider it treasonable?
Esther, in our constitution, we don't have anything like the office of the first lady. It's a creation. It's convention.
Okay.
Our constitution doesn't create that. So
she's just like any other individual like that somebody threatens.
Like threatens. And before you take action about threat, there must be 2 conditions there. The mental and the physical, like an intent to. You have an intent to commit a crime. It's different from you having the intent and expressing that intent in action.
Yeah.
So unless you are able to establish that, you cannot really have a stronghold legally on the person. Like I said, Esther, I'm going to blow your nose now. It could be the mental condition is there.
Okay.
I've conceived of the idea, but until I try to punch you, which is the physical aspect, that nexus must be there before I become.
But the federal government is saying now they want to use the European Union. They want to go beyond having a dialogue with the Finnish government through their diplomatic channels. The diplomatic channels that they actually want to go through. They're saying they're going to go through the European Union. How long do you think this process will take? And for example, for them to actually release this out, make this publication here, don't you think that you have an intention to extradite somebody? Don't you think you've heightened the person's protective measures to possibly not make themselves available for such?
It's not about protective measures. The law is very clear on that, and like the FBI says, you can only run, but you cannot hide. You can run as far as your leg can carry, but you cannot hide. And going through the EU, it's like what they say in international law, that in international relations, that international law is it's a no-brainer.
Okay.
Because the laws are there, but is the issue of enforcement, because it deals with the sovereignty of each nation, and we still practice statism now, whereby the states, are clearly in charge of their sovereignty and their foreign affairs. And if you talk about the EU, the individual states of the EU still have a large control over their foreign affairs.
Okay.
They might have a foreign pool of, like foreign policy initiative to say that the EU is going to take this decision. They take votes, and
so when that happens, then there's a strong possibility that the request for extradition can take place, if at all they peruse or go through that angle that they want to go through. Since the first time they had to contact the Finnish government, that did not possibly work or wasn't accelerated as they wanted.
The laws of the EU are also very clear on that.
Okay.
If there is a conflict between the law of a country and the law of the EU as a bloc, the law of that country takes precedence.
Okay.
Are you aware of that?
All right.
Okay. So in this case, if the EU approaches Finland and say, okay, please, can you help us extradite
this individual?
Okay. And the Finnish government says, oh, sorry, we have gone through that in our legal system. It's not possible. He's our citizen. He just happens to also be a citizen of Nigeria, and we have...
That means that's diplomatic channel. Maybe
the only diplomatic channel they can explore is, does Nigeria have extradition treaty with Finland? And it's not cast in stone. It's not cast in concrete that when you use that means that you must always have your way, because there are also asylum laws considered. This man is been granted asylum.
Yeah.
One, has he been granted asylum? One, is he a citizen of Finland? Or has he done enough? What he has done, is it sufficient enough for you to request a Finnish citizen to come to Nigeria and answer questions and possibly sentence him? So these are the things that they are going to consider. I'm not a lawyer. I don't have the final points of the law, but I also do have basic knowledge of the operations of international law.
In the case of Nnamdi Kanu, he's to appear in court next month. Very close. September is here, possibly towards the end of September. And the idea at that time is to see that last time he appeared in court was about a political resolution. How possibly the federal government and the legal team of Nnamdi Kanu can have a conversation, some conditions or some requirements will be talked about and signed, and look for his possible release. With all that has been happening, the end bad governance protest, the Nigerian military, the Nigerian Navy, all the security apparatus being heightened, do we see that possibility this September? Is there a plausibility that something of that note can actually take place?
Esther, if the federal government is interested in releasing Nnamdi Kanu,
they would,
using the political means, I'm not sure they will allow the case to linger up until this point.
Okay.
So going to court has become more like a deja vu for us. It's like we just wake up and say, oh, okay, we are going to court again.
All right.
And next month, okay, we are going to court again. So if they are interested in following the political means to resolve the crisis, they will do that sincerely.
Do you think the change within the Nigerian Security Agency, the sack of Bichi, the sack of the NIA, because those were the individuals that were responsible for his extraordinary rendition, do you think this change will culminate to in a positive light, to possibly seeking that avenue to work in September?
The change had nothing to do with Nnamdi Kanu. We are just getting to hear that from Ejimako, Aloy Ejimako, his lawyer, that these were the individuals that were behind his extraordinary rendition. And of course, for political watchers, they didn't need to travel far to know that this
When I don't hear them, this one the rules where these individuals or people at the helm of the affairs of the zoo.
Mister. Thanks for having me.
They played on the tradition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Now they don't start again on the issue of Simon Ekpa. Anyway, we could just take few reactions, then we'll round up the show. Marvelous Arinze said, I took my time to listen to this to the end. All I can say is that Biafra will be declared as scheduled, and there won't be any war. Nigeria have lost the legal lineups to dare go war with Simon Ekpa's government. What is our brother talk? Mr. Snow said, a man in faraway Finland is giving all of you sleepless night because they know that what Simon Ekpa is doing is good. They know that it is yielding result. That is why you see all of them are running kitty kata kata. But they gave them 400 names of sponsors of terrorism in Nigeria. Under Buhari, they put it under the carpet. Now Simon Ekpa is the reason why Nigeria is in total disarray. Chai, this is rather this is rather funny. According to a man of Biafra, says Simon Ekpa is a bone hanging on Zoo Republic neck, which they can still be able to bite. Of course, at Simon Ekpa is the man for the job. He was born and was set apart for this mission. Support him jealously, Biafrans. Mary John said, please, the terrorist media, don't come, my Prime Minister Nigeria. He is not Nigerian, in Finland citizen. And is Biafra. If this terrorist Nigeria need a peace, they have to release Nnamdi Kanu and Biafra, almost say Biafra. But even at that self, Zoo can never extradite Simon Ekpa to Nigeria because he's not a Nigerian. As a matter of fact, he don't have a Nigerian passport again. He is using Finnish passport, and that is all. If he chooses to come to Nigeria, he must look for Nigerian visa to come to visit his own fatherland. So how are you going to extradite him as a what? As a Finnish citizen, or extradite him as a fugitive, or extradite him as a Nigerian citizen, which is not possible. He is no longer a Nigerian citizen. I like the man who is simply trying to let the Okoko Esther know that it is impossible to bring Simon Ekpa to Nigeria by the non-legal means, except they want to do their usual kidnapping, which is also impossible. So my people, now here we go take back break. Please like, share, comment, and make sure you subscribe to my channel for more interesting videos coming your way. I'll be right back again with another blockbuster. Bye for now. Kemesiano.